I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
It's free-range chicken night.
Could you sign my chicken?
Yeah! I finally got all the chrome off this video.
I need some peanuts and crackers.
From the director of The Naked Gun and starring the creators of South Park, BASEketball, rated R.
Hey, this is Matt. Once again, we're about to another review. This is a Patreon review for Total Meltdown 2. Thank you so much, man. Thank you to everyone who supported me both on PayPal and Patreon with the requests. I really appreciate that. If you're ever interested in requesting pretty much any type of video, you do so on either the PayPal or Patreon links down below. But today I'm talking about BASEketball, which came out in 1998, and it stars Trey Parker and Matt Stone, the creators of South Park. They didn't write or direct this movie, although apparently the director said that they brought a lot of their own contributions to the project. And it's actually directed by David Zucker, who would go on to direct Scary Movie 3 and 4. I'd definitely say this is better than those. But with him and Jim Abrams and Jerry Zucker, they worked on the Naked Gun films, and they worked on Airplane and Top Secret and Kentucky Fried Movie they helped write. And a lot of fun comedies. And this movie is not on the level of those, but I had some fun with it, I'll admit. Some dumb fun with it. Not all the jokes work. Apparently at one point, just from what I understand, the director, him and his buddies thought of this game, this made-up game, way back in the day. As like, hey, let's make a movie out of that. And apparently at one point he wanted Chris Farley to be the lead, but Chris Farley either turned it down, or this is like before, of course, he passed away. I would say if you had Chris Farley and David Spade as the two leads in this, I think that would have made the film immensely better. Not that I hate the film, I don't. I mean, compared to other stuff Trey Parker and Matt Stone have done, I'm not a fan of Team America. I'm sorry. I'm just not. I don't care for their South Park show. I like the movie, honestly. I don't know why. Maybe because I thought the songs were a bit catchy, and I was a bit charming in its weird way. But I could never get into the show. I don't know, I don't know if it's just them personally. They just seem like people that are just, I don't know if I want to call them dickheads, or I don't know what it is. Just something about them rubs me the wrong way. I don't know how to put it. And they're not the best actors, but to be fair, they do fine what they're supposed to do in this flick. They do fine. Just they play two friends, they watch baseball together, and they watch Reggie Jackson hit a home run and he catches it. And I did find the beginning of the film pretty funny, pretty entertaining, where they're talking about the sports, how there's excessive celebration, and you have people dancing more and more crazy in the infields, stadiums being used just to promote products, and players being sold to the highest bidder. I'm like, yeah, a lot of this is actually pretty truthful. And I would say, because what happens is these two buddies, they make up this game, and sadly we don't really get the development as in the build-up of how this game became popular. Because pretty much they talk about, oh, this is a game we made up, they play these two jocks, we're trying to get the rules of this whole game as the same way as these two jocks are getting it, where it's this big ball, it looks like a baseball, but it's a lot bigger. You shoot through the hoop like a basketball. This is a single, this is a double. When you try to shoot, you can psych them out. I mean, it seems like a fun game to play, I will admit. It does seem like a fun game to play. I guess some places played this for a little bit. I doubt nowadays, because no one ever really talks about this film. It would have been interesting if somehow this actually went on to be a constant fad. That doesn't really make sense, but a thing that's even going on today. Maybe it is, and I don't know about it. And I would love to be proven wrong. I mean, if it's still going on today that people are playing this made-up BASEketball, I think that'd be pretty entertaining to find out. But Ernest Borgnine is this rich guy, sees that this becoming popular, but you don't really get the development from playing this, and then all of a sudden it's very popular. Ernest Borgnine says, hey, let's do this. Then all of a sudden it's sometime later, years later, and it becomes this successful nationwide thing. I think it would have been nice to see a bit more of that build-up, but I guess they're like, no, that's not the story we're telling. And it's like, oh, okay then. You know, what can you do? And again, some of the humor works. There's this other guy who I know is their friend in real life, who is this little guy that they just talk shit about. Oh, you're going to get a chick if you got $100 hanging from your zipper. Why I got you guys piece of shit. Other humor when it's trying to be more that gross out stuff early on when they're at a party and one of them's licking the vibrator, one of them's sniffing the panties, and they realize it's this woman's mom's. It's like, I don't know, I just didn't really, if people found it funny, that's cool. It just wasn't for me. I don't know, maybe I'm just getting older, maybe I'm just getting, I don't know, that type of gross out humor, I don't know if it really made me laugh as much as other people did. I don't know, maybe just different sense of humor, I guess. But, the BASEketball, I think it's actually been 5 years, and now it's popular. Again, it would have been nice to see a bit more of the build-up as to how it got so popular, but it is what it is. And there's some fun stuff. I mean, the reporters, how they react to certain things. Like I think it's a UPN reporter, if you remember UPN, that media network. He's talking and he's like this, what the hell, it certainly does seem to be raining shit on Joe Cooper today. Some of the dialogue delivery I thought was rather entertaining. Again, Matt Stone, Trey Parker, they're not great actors, but they do their jobs well for what they have to be. I've seen much, much worse, and obviously they're friends in real life, so they have a fun rapport with each other. It was interesting to see people like Ernest Borgnine, who sadly he's not in the film too much, and Robert Vaughn, who I remember from Superman 3, and he was in Battle Beyond the Stars and The Magnificent Seven, among others, as pretty much our villain in the movie in this type of flick. You have Jenny McCarthy as this girl that sides with Robert Vaughn, and they have this ongoing gag. he says these things that could be construed sexual, but you realize he says each one of them very literal. Like if he says wax my buffer, he actually wants his buffer waxed. Like, yeah, that type of stuff. I don't think he says that exact line, but something to that effect. Jenny McCarthy, I don't know, something about her. She seems like a bitch. I mean, if you want me to be blunt and honest. Just some of her... Isn't she the fucking dumbass? Yeah, she's the one who says that her son is autistic because of vaccination, so thus no one should vaccinate people. And I'm thinking, so you want people to die and be sick? Alright. To Jenny McCarthy, as outbreaks of measles, mumps, and whooping cough continue to appear in the U.S., most of the results of parents refusing to vaccinate their children because of the scare stories passed around by anti-vaxxers like you, it's just too late to play cute with the other things you said. I'm not anti-vaccine. Bullshit. I'm not anti-vaccine, I'm in this gray zone. Well, your career is in the fucking gray zone. Just who the fuck hires your ass nowadays? She always seemed like a piece of shit. Other people, Yasmine Bleeth, I believe she was on Baywatch, the TV show. Yeah, she's there as the love interest that will be for Trey Parker's character. Bob Costas, Al Michaels, they play themselves. You have appearances by people like Pat O'Brien. Robert Stack makes an appearance in that was a pretty fun Unsolved Mysteries parody. There's even a point where they show him on TV and Robert Stack going, we still don't know where the fuck this guy is. You don't expect Robert Stack to say a line like that, so that was pretty damn funny. As I stutter there. It's like, am I sure it's funny? Yeah, it was pretty funny. I would say, I think when it focuses on the game is the best parts in the movie, because so many decades we see the same games. It's interesting to see a new game being portrayed, whether it be Rollerball with James Caan or other movies that have done that, some more successful than others. So, and then all the hijinks that happen, like all the different psych outs. Of course, later on he does a little bit of his Cartman to psych out this guy. Some of them are just flat out gross. One of them is sucking this thing. He's talking about how it's the fat from the liposuction of Marlon Brando, and one pretends to cut his finger and blood spurting everywhere, but it's a fake hand. But I would say when it's on the game, that's when it's the most interesting, the most entertaining. When it's outside of it, I didn't really give a shit about the love story. I don't even think this needed a fucking love story between Trey Parker and Yasmine Bleeth. It really didn't. Robert Vaughn, pretty much what he wants to do is he wants to remove Ernest Borgnine's rules to prevent monetization of the sport. And Trey Parker is for that. But the other guy's like, what the fuck, you didn't talk to us? And I'm like, why the fuck would you guys want anyway? Oh, because they want more money. Okay. I guess I can understand that. But they argue, and I didn't really find it that interesting or really. I'm trying to think of jokes that are outside of the game itself. Because anytime I go back, I think of when they're playing the game, like they do a little ode to Beetlejuice where someone goes, "You want to see a scary face?" And then you don't see it, but you which reminded me of Beetlejuice when he did that to Glenn, Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis. I was going to say Glenn Close. Gina Davis. There's probably one of, the way he said it is when one that made me laugh is when one is pissed off at the other. And just the way he said it nonchalantly under his breath, "You know something, pit fucker? Can I call you pit fucker?" Like, the way they said it, I thought that was pretty damn funny. Pretty much just about them arguing, like, money versus the purity of the game, the romance with Yasmine Bleeth that I didn't give a shit about. Of course, they make it at the end. They win. They save the day. They win the big game. Like I said, not all the jokes worked for me, but I will say, compared to other movies, including the movies they made, again, I'm not a Team America fan. There's another one, Total Meltdown 2, wanted me to see Cannibal the Musical. I'm like, it probably won't be a rant, but I didn't really care for it. But maybe because, even though the guy directed Scary Movie 3 and 4, maybe the director kind of held them back a little bit. Maybe that's why they never really talk about this movie. But of the films they're involved with, I would say South Park the movie's the best. Again, I find that ironic because I'm not a fan of the show, but I like the movie. But this is up there too. Like, for me, I put this above Team America. I put this above. Why do I think there's another movie, but I'm completely forgetting the name of it? Oh well. But I find this to be a fun film at the end of the day. It's not a film I love. Again, if you have people like Chris Farley, David Spade, because I like them a lot more than these two guys. But again, to be fair, these two guys did fine in their roles. Yeah, some of the low-hanging fruit jokes, I'm like, whatever, but to be honest, some of the jokes did make me laugh, especially when they're playing the game. I keep harping on that. When they're playing the game, I think it's the most interesting parts of the movie, and definitely, for the most part, the funnier parts of the movie. And for that, I find it entertaining enough that, yeah, if you've never seen the film, I recommend it. And if you hate the film, I don't blame you. And if you like the film, I don't blame you. I think it's a decent flick. It's a decent comedy. It's not a film I rewatch over and over again, but not a bad film. Not a bad comedy at all. Definitely a lot better than the director's later work or Scary Movie 3 and 4, at least in my opinion. But does this come close to Hot Shots Part 2? I know he didn't direct that, but I'm just talking about his buddies like Jim Abrams and Jerry Zucker and all the other films they did along with him in the past, whether they wrote or directed or produced, like Naked Gun movies. Nah, I don't know about Naked Gun 3. But I'll put the first two Naked Gun films above this. I haven't seen the third one in a while, so maybe I'll hold off on that. Anyway, I'm just... Let me end it. Thanks for watching. Take care. Overall, fun little comedy for what it is. And, again, entertaining game that, again, I guess the director came up with. That was intriguing to watch. So, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.